Wow.
Oh. I love it.
Sorry.
No, that's
you
beautiful.
good.
I don't mind if you don't.
Gang.
Let's pour up. Yo, John came. Can we talk about this? John came and brought us 2 gold Bel Air bottles.
Yo, I just had to show love, man.
This is the type man we dealing with here, man.
I had to show love.
Bro, we appreciate that, bro.
I appreciate y'all, man, for everything that y'all are doing.
Beautiful, man.
All of these important conversations that y'all are having.
Indeed, man.
You know, giving people an opportunity to speak and tell their story.
Yeah.
It's needed.
Mwahahaha. We are back. It is
Gang.
This Side of Jersey podcast.
Gang.
The number 1 podcast in the world.
Big stamped.
Big Stamps. I am one of your amazing hosts. My name is Steven. I go by Ugly Steven on Instagram.
It's your boy I Robinson 03 _ all platforms.
And behind the scenes, we have Vintage Sense 2 underscores and OG _Bs_. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe at TSOJ Podcast. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, be sure to follow and download at TSOJ Podcast. Now, we are very excited for this episode. Very, very excited for this guest. But before we get into it, we got to do our layup lines. For those who do not know, layup lines is a segment where we like to get our guests loose, get the creative juices flowing, get everybody loose and happy. We ask you a bunch of this or that questions. You got to answer them as fast as possible.
All right.
All right. Aye.
Yes, sir. 24 on the clock.
Are we good on the shot clock?
Indeed.
Tell me when to go.
Let's go.
Booking shows or watching shows?
Booking shows.
Backstage or front row?
Backstage.
Who's watching the kids or Camden?
That's not fair. Who's watching the kids?
Who's watching the kids 2 or Melody Monster?
Shit. Who's watching the kids too?
Manage a difficult artist who has tremendous potential or manage an easygoing artist with a little bit of potential?
Easygoing artist.
Your career before finding joy or finding joy currently?
Currently.
Fucking amazing ass question. You see that?
Currently.
I want to ask the rest though because these are pretty good. Spending time with your kid on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday morning?
Sunday morning. Already. Oh, it's different.
Okay. Independent but never win a Grammy or sign with a major but the highest accolade is going platinum?
Independent.
Mm.
Independent. Highest accolade going platinum? No. The plaques are cool, but I feel like it's much more about impact and what you're able to actually do. And I mean, also going platinum doesn't mean you made money. So
Really?
It doesn't necessarily mean that you made money, you know? So
Really?
yeah.
Is that just because you could be in debt to like a label or?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right? Like you might get everything up front. It might be a situation like it could be several reasons where it's like you get the plaque and then you're still looking for checks, still looking for other income.
Okay.
You know? So
okay.
Watch what deal you sign.
Listen, man.
And can I say, hold on,
Yeah.
say Steve woke up and chose blood this morning with them questions?
Yo,
I
did
think
I not
that's the
snap
first-
low-key?
yeah.
That's what, yo.
That was the first time.
Yo,
I think
talk to me
I
nice,
was
bro.
was
These
trying.
questions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
no,
pretty
they
good, right?
No, it was good.
Listen,
My
man.
boy said, no one is beating that
That's what I was
clock
trying to
today.
listen, man. full court pressure, baby. Listen, man. Our guest, man, we are so excited. I feel like we already just like I was ready to go right into that conversation. But our next guest, man, he is an artist manager. He is a professor. He is the founder of Finding Joy Collective. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon Wigfall is here. Thank you for being here.
Yo, thank you for having me.
Yo, we have so much to go over. I feel like, and even with you adding adding to the talking points was like kind of crazy. I feel like your journey. We should start with you where you went to school. I feel like that's kind of a good starting point. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
So Syracuse, went in for journalism, and then I ended up studying public relations. I switched about my sophomore year. Ironically, I enrolled in Syracuse. I get accepted to Syracuse. Don't even know that they have a music industry program band there that's arguably just as world-renowned as the journalism school that I ended up going into. So I'm studying at Syracuse, it's going well, and this is kind of around the same time I'm a rapper myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a rapper, so I mean, for a long time, my handles on all social media was I am J Quest. That was my rap name, John Quest, or I don't know. I had like 4 different versions of that bullshit name.
Were you Questlove inspired?
Not at all. It just was like the real adventures of Johnny Quest, 90s baby type, Cartoon Network, old school, except I'm not white kid with blonde hair.
I would love to hear that. Can you dig up some files for me?
Not. Absolutely not. All
I
the
need
files.
to dig up some files for me.
And it's funny you said Doug because they're all very buried.
Really?
You're never gonna find
but
anything.
they still exist, is what you're saying.
There are random people, like maybe a Chris Takis, like maybe maybe a couple of people that still like. I don't want to say any other names, but there are people that still have archived
Couple
demos.
Wow.
But anyway, I was trash, and
you owned it. You
yeah.
Okay.
No, I did my thing. I got.
What was your downfall as a rapper?
I had stage fright. Honestly.
Oh, you were like performing.
Oh no, I was out here.
Wow.
I did shows from the time I was in high school to freshman year of college. Like I went into college as like student rapper would be on my shit.
Word.
So I was like doing that, and it was going well. Like I was getting recognized by like school and like different things like that. Did a music video shot by my roommate at the time, Anthony Moore Mill. And
Shout out.
Video did well. It was popping. Like I got some love on campus. I got shows on campus, and then I think I dropped a mixtape, and then I just felt like my story was kind of winding down. Like a lot of me rapping was fueled by stuff that had happened in high school. So like I had just, once I poured that all out, I was like, all right, I'm kind of good. What else is there for me within music? Because also dealing with the stage fright thing, I'm getting shows, but I'm like not really fully comfortable being on stage.
Wow.
So now I'm kind of transitioning out of it. So I'm like, I want to be in music. I got this journal. I'm trying to do journalism, but all the senior journalism majors look miserable. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to look like that in 3 years. So let me get out of that. At the same time, my advisor was a PR major. So naturally, she persuaded me to switch to PR. Probably one of the best moves I made in college in general, because then it taught me a love for being behind the scenes, which is what I was much more comfortable with. So boom, I switched to PR. I'm entering like sophomore year of college. Same time, I'm like, okay, I still want to work in music. I still want to do PR. I'm learning this. I want to apply it. Artist management felt like the next step, just naturally. So while I'm at Syracuse, I'm like looking back at home, being from Camden. I'm like, all right, well, who's in Camden? Who's in South Jersey that's hot, that's relevant? Like, who can I work with that would give me a shot? Mir was just kind of like, at this point.
Shout out Mir Fontane.
Yeah.
Shout out that boy Mir Fontane.
So at this point, he's Mir got bars.
Oh, Mir got. Oh, you got him early. You got him
That's
early.
funny as hell. Yeah. So yeah, Mir got bars. He was Mir got bars 2011, 2012.
Sheesh.
And I mean, he was just coming off of being, I think he was in a rap trio that kind of just broke up. So yeah, I was trying to build it up. And Mir was kind of like the first one to kind of believe in me, just a sophomore in college, just retired rapper trying to build something up. You know?
And did you have a relationship with him prior, or you kind of just approached him like?
Just on some like, which is funny, just on some like rapper to rapper shit. Like, oh, I see you, you see me, but it's like I wasn't anywhere near as skilled as him, but I was like, I had the business. Like I had the business down, which is what he had respected. So when it came time for me to like do my little mini college rebrand and like approach him saying like, yo, this is what I would like to do because I believe in you, it just was a smooth conversation because he kind of saw what I did on the music tip, but even more so, I think he was impressed that I made it out of Camden and I was like trying to do something with myself. So yeah.
That's fire. That's fire. So in this time period, you also develop a relationship with Def Bananas.
Yeah, so that's through Cam.
Okay.
Cam.
Shout out Cam.
Yo,
Shout out Cam De La.
Cam De La. So yeah, I'm in Syracuse. I come back home. I'm working retail. I'm in Hollister with the flip flops. Like,
you had the toes out.
Toes out. Toes out.
Hollister with the flip flop.
Yeah, the toes out.
Regardless time of year.
Oh man,
It'd be the worst when customers come in and be like, "Yo, you're not cold."
Are you though?
Just it was a little breeze, but I mean, that you just trying to make something.
Hollister was a dark place.
No, everything they said in that documentary that they dropped on the
I didn't watch it.
No,
I did watch the Crombie one. Yeah,
that's which is Hollister basically.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Crombie owns.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Same company. But anyway, I was working there during my off, from school, like summers, winters, go back, make a little money, go right back up to New York. So anyway, one of the times I go back, Cam is like a new employee there. Like at this point, like I'm a seasoned.
I cannot see Cam.
Still showing back up to fucking retail. But anyway, he was in there, toes out, folding some clothes. And at this point, like I got a good relationship with the managers there, and they're like, they know I do music or was doing music. And it was like, oh, well, we just hired this one dude and, he produces. Like he's like, apparently he's good or something. I'm like, okay.
That's probably exactly how they're talking too.
which is crazy to think like that's how I met Cam, right? Yeah. Like, oh, he's good or something.
Yeah.
He's over there folding clothes. And like and it's like I'm like, all right, cool. So like, once again, I'm like still in this kind of like rapper mindset, like, oh, we dap up or whatever. Yeah. And I think at this point, like I'm kind of at the tail end of trying to pursue music myself. So we talk, we dap it up, and I think even one of our managers, John Clark, was a singer that Cam still works with to this day, and I had done some work with before. So anyway, being introduced to Cam was kind of like the start of my relationship with Def Bananas. Like, we started working. I forget how soon we had started working or what even time of the year that I met Cam, but I think I was managing Def Bananas for at least maybe four years, no less than.
Wow.
4 years at least. I think at least till 2015, 16 maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought you were
No.
Yo, I kind of want to drink some of this. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
I was
it.
kind of excited to do that.
That's fine.
This is not a paid sponsorship.
Shout out Hollister. He
Let
was
people know.
hoarding all the musicians and
Yeah, right.
artists.
Yeah, no, I mean there was some talent in there, and that's the thing. It's like
That's funny as hell to say. Like, oh, some talent.
yeah, like I'm talking about like fucking The Fire or some shit, SOBs. But well, that was the thing. It was like in the documentary, the Crombie documentary, right? Like it's weird to hear out loud, but that was like one of the things that they were so proud of. It's like, oh, we got the cool kids from every school or whatever, and it's like with that came people that were like had their hands in multiple things, oftentimes, right? So it's like,
Wow, that's beautiful though.
yeah,
That's beautiful.
I mean, no, I definitely made some friends there that I'm still cool with to this day.
That's tough. I think the closest I got to Hollister. Necessary, bro.
Thank you.
Necessary, bro. I truly have fallen in love with like conversation.
Oh, yeah, you might want to pour it.
You got some?
I poured kind of
poured
heavy.
up?
Nah, you good.
You want to come on camera for this toast? Or you just going to play it safe? Oh, yeah, come on camera for the toast, man. This is a beautiful moment.
Sorry, I spilled on you.
No, you good, bro. You good, bro. Listen, man. Toast, John, thank you for being here, bro.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate you.
All right, fellas.
Gang.
Ah. Tay want, yeah, you wanna
Tay said y'all heard what his Giants doing, so make sure y'all put some respect on their name.
yeah.
Even though what the score is?
I can't talk trash because they actually are playing well.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so I can't really say anything. Okay.
I got a house on the Giants. They better win.
Yeah, we definitely explore your habits.
My gambling habits. It's not healthy.
I wasn't gonna
don't
say what the
recommend
gambling. I
it,
just
but,
was, yeah.
you know,
I mean, I think you've made it
a healthy habit,
a
for
lucrative
me.
habit.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
but not all people get there.
Healthy hobby, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Not for everybody.
No, yeah.
But okay, so you had this relationship with Def Bananas.
Yeah.
You talked about this relationship with Mir Fontane,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of off camera, we kind of talked about you then wanting to take like this extra step, right? Like you were like, I have this under control, but I need to get another foot further into the door. Talk about that kind of
Yeah.
thought and then like where that took you.
Yeah, so I think between 2012 and 2015 when I graduated college, like working with Mir, working with Def Bananas, and then even like a couple other artists, like it was just kind of me applying everything I was learning in school in real time, you know? And like I think that's why a lot of things kind of worked well, is because I would take some knowledge I learned during the day, and then that night I'm like, all right, boom, this is what we're gonna do. So I spend that few years, everything from booking shows, just being day-to-day management for both of them, really just learning the industry as much as possible and kind of trying to build up my own resume and credibility. And then I get to 2015, I'm graduating school with no plan, like, whatsoever, but just trying to be my own boss. Like, I'm just glad my parents fucked with me, like, and then, like, believed in me, you know, because it was really no plan. I ain't had no job, no internship. It was just like, yo, I graduated.
Right.
Like, boom, like, we here.
Facts.
So I went back home, but I needed to take another step. I needed to prove myself. I didn't really have an industry job, but I felt like I needed it because I wasn't quite making money from artist management yet. So I needed something. And at the time it was crazy because I graduated in May. That June, maybe 2 weeks before my birthday, I'm on Twitter and I see Tsu Surf's manager at the time. He's like, hey, I'm trying to build out Tsu Surf's team. Like, we need people, hit me up. I didn't hit him up. I just liked the tweet. You know, I liked the tweet. I was like, okay, I don't think I'm ready for that, but I'm a like this, and, you know, I'm gonna maybe circle back to it, see if you hire anybody, you know, maybe down the line. He hits me up. Like,
wow.
The manager hits me up because I guess he looked at my Instagram or my Twitter bio. He was like, you know, let's jump on a call. So we did a call. About another 2 weeks later, I'm Tsu Surf's publicist. So I'm his publicist, basically working with him from 2015. And my bad, my timeline's a little off.
Yeah, it's fine.
Leading up to the Newark project, and then a little bit after.
Okay.
Which was, I think, a really defining project for
First.
us.
That joint with Joe Budden goes stupid.
Yeah, whole project,
Stupid,
man. Whole project. Like, that was a really good reassuring moment for me because it showed, okay, I can do this with different artists in different stages of their career. You know, Surf, who needed a publicist, not so much because, like, he was in, like, a whole bunch of BS, but, like, he was in a rebrand of his own, trying to be taken serious on the music, and he wanted to be in the conversations as the people that he was featured, like, that was featured on the project, from, like, you know, the Locks and Joe Budden and so on, and like all the people that he's cool with from Wale, and he wanted to be in those conversations. So, but a lot of people was looking at him as just a battle rapper. You know, he just wanted to get out of that box. So I think, you know, I got to apply a lot of the things I was doing with Def Bananas and Mir to him. And then also the connections I gained from working with Surf, I was able to pour back in to Mir and Def Bananas. Right. So it just kind of worked, you know, just all around. But yeah, I mean, really from Surf and forward, it was really then now getting really ready, the opportunity to work with bigger artists and, you know, just kind of like flex with everything I've been doing. So.
How was working with Surf directly? Did you work with him like directly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. From like meetings at his crib to doing calls and walking him into like Ebro in the morning, a Hot 97. Like,
tough.
Yeah, like I was with him. Like, you know, yeah, no, it was a good experience. It was a good experience, you know, like, I think I wish I could have done more with him, you know, but I think sometimes it's just not always as easy working with artists, you know, like you got everybody that's trying to contribute and do their own thing. And also, you know, just like with Surf, it's like he had just so much going on.
Right.
He had just so much going on, you know what I'm saying? So it's difficult to kind of really tell somebody what they're supposed to do when they got another 10 people.
Bunch of other shit going on.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but no, definitely a good experience that kind of helped pave the way for where I'm at now.
For sure.
Oh, you definitely want to shout out Surf, man.
Yeah.
Pray for him what he's
Surf,
going through, man.
Surf,
Him and his people, man. Pray for what they're going through. I want to say that, but I also want to say what I appreciate when I'm hearing you talk is like I really appreciate like you're saying you took your successes with the bigger artists and then poured it back into the artists that you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people try to climb the ladder and it's like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's very easy to just climb the ladder and just say, oh, fuck y'all. Like, you know, y'all figure it out or get your own ladder, you know? Like, you know? But that was always the goal. Like, even when I start, like, so I think also working with Surf was pivotal because it showed that I could be a publicist, right? Like, when I was in school learning PR and taking these classes and getting a degree, it's like it was really nobody that looked like me in any of those classes, right? So that was already a little bit deterring mentally. So it's like, okay, what is the likelihood of me succeeding in this field that I'm pretty much going to be, you know what I'm saying, like, damn near on the outside looking in. So
you didn't feel like being black gave you an advantage in this industry?
I think in like music or in PR in particular.
And I guess in PR in particular. Well, I guess it depends on what you're PRing, right? Like,
I think yes and no. I think yes because music, rap, male dominated, right? So like I think a lot of artists that I've worked with have kind of found that comfort in the fact that, oh, I'm hiring a black male. Like, there aren't that many people that look like you. So this feels good to work with, like, a black male that's in PR in particular, right? Because it is male dominated, and I think it is getting to a point where women are getting more opportunities, which is amazing. But just in terms of PR, it's like it's predominantly women, you know, and white women at that.
Okay.
So that was the thing. It's like when I was
That's
in school,
okay.
it was just it was just a little bit different. So I just wasn't sure if that was like something I would be doing, you know. But then I kind of looked at it like, I can just start my own PR agency, you know. I can kind of treat this the same way I was treating artist management, where I'm my own boss, and you know I'm not going to worry about getting hired to, you know, whatever agency in New York. I'm gonna just do it for myself, and that's what I started doing. So like 2016 to 18-ish, like really doing a lot of PR for different artists, especially those in Philly, like everybody from like Lee Mason to Drama to Core, like just doing PR on these different projects for everybody. Like, you know, it's been a good experience. Like I've worked releases. It's funny because it's my students always ask me when I listed on my like my little class intro and introduction, but like I got hired indirectly to work Meg Thee Stallion's Tina Snow project. And this is like right before she pops off, right? Like her manager or whoever was, you know, they was basically hiring a bunch of different people to just try to work it to the best of their ability, not really caring about if the jobs overlapped or whatever the case may be. So I get hired to work Tina Snow, and this is like right before people really started to care.
Right.
You know, so it was crazy on my end because I'm sending out the release. I'm writing the best I can, best press release and everything, and I didn't even get a lot of bites at the time. And then 5-6 months later, she's obviously out of here.
Wow.
But I had a lot of opportunities like that where it's like just like random artists that soon blow up shortly after, or even artists that's kind of like in that middle ground trying to figure out the next step, trying to get even bigger. So, but yeah.
Are you, I guess, having worked with these artists, were you at any point at a place where you were kind of turning down artists, like maybe like you didn't want to work with them, or you were taking everything you can get? Like,
I think I mean, I've always been turning down artists on the management end. Okay. Like, and I think that's the bigger thing. It's like, it's also interesting that you asked that because pretty much all of my clients are like PR, digital marketing related, all word of mouth. Mm-hmm. Like I don't really advertise, hey, I do this, because also I feel like oftentimes it comes off disingenuous, which you have to promote your brand, but I've never been one to say like, hey, artists, give me your money. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I mean by that. Like, you know, I never really felt comfortable fully promoting certain services, because I just want it to happen naturally. And, you know, that's probably cost me some bread, but at the same time, it's like I've built some lifelong connections in the way I have communicated with the artists, you know. And my work is kind of spoken for itself.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it'll be, you know, people will reach out, you know, I'll send them like a deck of like different campaigns that I've worked on, or I'll draft a proposal or whatever the case may be. And, you know, the conversation will start from there. Oh, you did work with this person or whoever, and you worked with, and that's always, it just works out much better that way. But I can't really think of too many PR clients that I've directly turned down. Like, I guess I've indirectly turned down like a lot of work in terms of just not responding, not responding. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes that's an answer in itself. You know. But no, there was definitely a time like I was just taking as much work as possible. You know, I mean, in turn, kind of wearing myself thin because I'm doing a whole bunch of PR clients, and with PR, it's a slightly different expectation. Like, PR is draining because as a publicist, you know, you're hired for maybe 30 days, maybe 3 months, you know, maybe longer. And there are some serious expectations, benchmarks that come with being hired by basically this stranger, you know what I'm saying, that you don't have as close of a relationship with. Whereas artist management is like, okay, this is maybe somebody that trusts you and understands that this is going to be a little bit more of a process. A little bit, right? With PR clients, especially like, you know, artists within the last 5 years that feel like they can do everything on their own. Don't get me wrong, you certainly can. There's a lot you could do on your own as an artist. You know, it's a little bit more entitled, right? Like, that's kind of like a thing that kind of comes with artists, especially younger artists these days. And you know, they want that placement tomorrow. They want to be Drake tomorrow. They want to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you can't deliver, it's like just a lot more intense and like a lot more stressful relationship. So I say all that to say is I haven't been doing PR as much, you know, for that reason, especially now being like a family dude. It's like, it's just too much, right? Like, I don't need somebody blowing up my phone like, yo, why didn't they post this? I'm like, bro, like, come on, the song is got 2 streams. Like, we gotta refocus the goals here, you know? So, I mean, I'm having a lot of fun really just doing artist management and teaching, really.
Have you ever had to put an artist in their place? Like, they want something, you're like, yo, listen, bro.
Yeah.
I was playing it cool for a minute, but like, listen.
You gotta fall
you ain't
back
him.
and relax.
Yeah, you ain't him.
I don't like, I like, yes, but I haven't done it in the you ain't him. Like, cause I never want to like put nobody down.
Them, right.
Because I say that because I've been in that situation where my artist was, you know, signed to a distribution company 2016, 2017. And, you know, we're just fighting for basic stuff. Like, hey, you know, hey, can we get the cover art posted on the labels or the distribution company's Instagram feed? Hey, can we get like a tweet that says, hey, new song by, and it was like, nah. And I'm like, well, what do you mean nah? Like, it's like bare minimum, you know? Yeah. Bare minimum is a post on the IG feed. I mean, we're partners. We was told you're not insert whatever name. Insert whatever notable name you could think of. You're not Jay-Z. You're not, you know, and that's tough to hear by somebody that, you know, supposed to be in your corner. Right. This was the A&R that said that, not like the CEO or something. But nonetheless, I definitely had to, like, sometimes artists need an ego check, you know? Like, sometimes you guys just, hey, look, love you, but no. Like, this isn't going to happen like that, and you can't talk to this person like that, like, whatever the case may be. Sometimes they need that because I think, you know, you have as an artist, you have to balance that ego. You have to be able to say, like, you have to be confident and know yourself, but at the same time, you can't go overboard, right? You have to know that, yo, there's a lot of people that may be around you working for free, you know, just working off of vibes, you know, and you have to be mindful of that, you know, like, gotta treat people the way you want to be treated.
Wow. There's so much, I feel like, personable, like, mannerisms I have to be, like, implemented. Because I can see where, like you said, like, you see where it could be very, like, just, like, the manager's trying to get a check. So you know what I'm saying? Like doing anything that's like it's not genuine. It's just like everybody's just chasing a bag.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
it's very easy to just be like, oh, I don't care what the artists do as long as the money comes in.
right.
Like it's very easy, and I'm sure that's how a lot of people are getting down and getting by. You know, but if you care about your brand and just being a good person, for real, right? Like eventually you have to interject or acknowledge how that's going to come back on you.
Yeah.
Right. If you work with an artist and they out there treating people like shit or whatever, but your name is attached, you know, and that's something you got to be mindful of as well. So, yeah.
Have you ever, you don't got to say who, but outside of that distribution deal that like you were asking for bare minimum, do you remember any other major labels or partnerships where like you've been like kind of stabbed in the back or like given the short end of the stick or like?
Yeah. Yeah. No, another time I'll bring up is we were working with an A&R who was trying. We had a marketing budget for this artist, and the A&R was basically trying to. And don't get me wrong, like this is part of an A&R's job, especially in this day and age. Is if you have connections, you know, of course, bring them to the table. But was kind of strategically trying to divvy up the marketing budget to their friends, right? Like, yo, my boy Steve does playlisting, about $8,000. Boom, you know. My boy Ivan does whatever styling. He costs like 10. Like, you know, just ridiculous numbers attached to services that maybe you could do on your own. Right. So that's what was going down. And we didn't even allow them to get it off. But it just kept happening. Like opportunities just kept presenting themselves that were like, I don't know, it just seemed a little odd. And then ironically, not too long ago, we saw another artist blast that same person on Instagram saying, yo, they're a thief.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like it's very easy to get finessed. It's very easy to like, you know, if you don't know better, if you're not asking the right questions, you know, like it happens. It definitely happens. And for me, it's like once again going back to the statement I was making about PR is, it's, you know, I like I've seen artists get robbed. I've seen some of my artists get robbed. Like obviously not through me, but just us getting robbed, you know what I'm saying? So it's not a good feeling, right? So it's like when I put on my PR hat, I try to keep that in mind. And that's why also I work with people's budgets for the most part, you know, like obviously, you know, like I work within a range, like, but I never want to, never want anybody to feel like they being robbed, and always am very mindful, like of, you know, whatever people got going on at home and like just them being a regular person at the end of the day. So.
So after Surf, I know recording, we talked about you working with Zombie. Talk about you know that path and how that led you to where you're at now, or getting to it.
Yeah, so it's funny. All right, so I was just talking about budget. Zombie was the first, and I guess this wouldn't be really putting him on blast, but he was the first client I had. This is like 2016 that paid me what I felt like I deserved at the time. Because I didn't get paid much at all working with Surf. Like that was like the ultimate internship. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I got reimbursed for like gas and travel, and you know, but at the same time, I didn't really have a big artist on my resume. So it was like working with Surf for close to nothing was cool because I know I needed that. You know what I'm saying? And like that was like that industry internship that a lot of people will go to a label or whatever case may, or a Live Nation to get. So when I got to Zombie, like I started setting prices for my different services, and I felt a little bit more confident communicating, hey, this is what I would like to be paid. And this was, this was like right after Wani Wag is like kind of popping with Mir and Ish, and you know, Zombie Charlie, he does the remix. Zombie hops on it. We put that out, and you know, Zombie liked what I was doing with Mir, and you know, he's basically working at this time. He's working on an album called Humble Genius, I believe, was the title, and he needed a publicist for it. So I was happy to work with him. I was happy that like we was able to kind of build a relationship from that, and we've been good ever since. Literally one of the most genuine, dopest people, not only from South Jersey, but just that I've ever met. You know what I'm saying? Like just a genuinely good dude that will look out for his people.
Shout out Zombie, man. Big shout out to Zombie.
Yeah, for sure. Like from just showing up to people to just being there. You know, just a good person.
Tough.
Just a good person, you know. And it's funny, he recently did an interview where he just was like, he kind of pulled back the humble bag a bit. And it was nice to see him flex because he doesn't, and he should, you know. Like, his credits is out of this world. The man's got plaques. Like, you know, he's definitely a big fish from the area, you know.
That's tough.
Shout out Zombie, man.
Sure. Listen, man, you work with some pretty talented artists, man. I gotta say, man. I mean, shout out to all the ones you mentioned so far.
Yeah, you got a good catalog.
Yeah,
Very good catalog.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe my favorite artist that you work with, I would say, Franky Hill.
Okay, yeah.
Franky Hill. Talk a little bit about that relationship.
It's a story.
Yeah.
Man, where to start? So, I think this is 2018. Spring 2018, break up with my girlfriend at the time. That summer, I'm just down. Like, I'm still working, you know, like functioning depression pretty much. But also I think that was rough because 2018, top of 2018, I was living with my parents' house caught on fire. It was a kitchen fire, and it spread to like dining room. Well, spread to dining room, but you know how it goes. Like in situations like that, you gotta leave the crib. They gotta gut it out. They gotta treat it for smoke damage, for the whole nine. So like I wasn't really in my crib all of 2018. So just going through a lot, living with my boy, one of my best friends, Rodolfo. We was just in DR celebrating his birthday.
I saw that. That looked fun.
I've never seen somebody have 4 cakes. He had a full itinerary for the weekend, and he had a birthday cake
for every day of the
every stop.
That's
every
a
stop.
flex.
Yeah,
That's
he only does it big.
That's
my boy.
That's tough.
It was a great time. But I'm living with him in Philly at 2018, like just crashing on his couch. This is like I'm trying to think to put another time stamp on it, but nonetheless, this is 2018, just going through everything. So then we get to the summer, I'm working. I think this is the first time that I really considered expanding in terms of like management. Because I think right at that point, it's really just Mir. At that point, I think it's just Mir. I wasn't even managing with Cam again just yet. Theo. So Theo was...
Shout out Theo.
So Theo is a very crucial piece of this story. Because D hits me up maybe top of the summer. He's like, yo, Franky has this project. Like Franky has a project, and we want to talk with you. And leading up to that point, like I've worked different Franky releases in the past, like just helped him with like blog placement or whatever the case may be. But nothing really in depth, like kind of like small projects, and we part ways. So anyway, he's like, yo, you got to hear this project. It's something special. I'm in my own head. Like, I'm going through it. Like, I'm trying to take care of my parents. I'm trying, like, it's a whole bunch.
Life is life in right now.
Life is lifing hard. Whooping my ass right now in summer 2018. So it might have been like maybe 2 months of me and Theo trying to schedule meetings and me just not showing up or just not making it because I'm just
other shit going on.
Yeah, I am just fucking up. Yeah. So, he sent me a private link. He was like, "All right, well, you know, cool. If we can't meet up, just check out the project. Let me know what you think. Hit me up whenever." Right. So patient with me when he should have just been cussing me out, but So I listened to User. I cried. Dead ass. I cried on the first listen because I felt like it was speaking to everything I was going through. I think I'm damn near tearing up when I'm thinking about it now. It just hit me so hard.
Man, shout out Franky Hill, man.
Shout out that boy.
It spoke to me.
What a project.
That was, yo.
It spoke to me. Like,
Wow.
it spoke to me. So I was like, okay. I heard that project and I was like, you know what? I heard it at the right time, at the right place. And I needed that. And I hit him up. I was like, bro, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Cause like, but I explained the same thing to him. And I think I spoke this to Franky at least 2 or 3 times now. He knows I'm just so appreciative of their patience overall and for him even making a project like User. And of course, got to give Cam credit for that as well.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Hell yeah.
So I finally hear User. I'm fucking blown away. I'm like, dog, this is next level. And I spent 2 months being hungover and missing meetings and whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So then, I mean, I said, look, I don't want y'all money. I don't want no money to promote this project. In fact, I want to invest money in this project. And that's really how it came about. Like, we met at where did we meet? We met at Honey's in Philly for breakfast. Me, Franky, D, Tab, and Clemens. We was all there, and then we was just talking about management. We just talked it out over the finest pancakes and bacon in Philly.
Oh, I was like that. Okay.
Yeah, no, Honey's is nice.
Okay.
Honey's
Where's
is
that?
nice.
Where Honey's at?
It's like on 2nd and I don't know the intersection, but it's right. It's on 2nd.
Yeah. Okay.
It's on 2nd.
Okay.
It's like that. It's like that. Like huge pancakes. So when I was living with Rod at the time, I would go there like some mornings because it was like right around the way, kind of like that Northern Liberties area, and this kind of became like a little go-to breakfast spot. But anyway, we did the meeting there, and then pretty much the rest is history. Like, we dropped User that fall, pretty much. I mean, I think he maybe hit me up about User in May, and it took us until like July-ish to really late July to get it together. And I think Lies dropped like late August, early September. And that's when we started to get the ball rolling.
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, no, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah,
I think it speaks to your genuine nature too. Like, when someone came to you with something where they were really ready to give you money, you know what I mean? And like, just because of the genuineness that went into the project and how it spoke to you, you're like, yeah, like, you just want to be involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, and they could have told me no.
Yeah,
they could have told me no, but I think they also saw that I was coming from a genuine space. And I'm always appreciative of like the artists that give me a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's not, you know, people see a contract and they're like, what is this? Or like, you know, or even just trusting somebody with your career, you know, that's like a big move to make. So I'm always really humbled by the opportunity to manage people, and I always want to make sure it makes sense, you know, like I said earlier, like a lot of people have asked me to manage them, but music industry, I mean, probably the most unspoken yet popular word is timing. You know, everything is about timing in the music business, whether it's a feature, whether it's just a job opportunity. You know, it just all comes down to doing it at the right time. So, Franky, D, like, my guys.
that's fire.
Yeah.
Very elite.
Now, I do want to spend some time talking about, I believe, your newest artist. I believe.
Yeah.
We tried to get her on the pod. You know, things got crossed or whatever. But I do want to spend some time to talk about your new artist.
Yeah,
she goes by the name of Bea.
Bea, yeah.
Bea, yeah. Talk a little bit about Bea.
Yeah. So,
where she's from, the whole shebang.
Yeah. So Bea, she is from Brigantine, New Jersey. Not like right near Atlantic City and whatever. You know, she spent a lot of time in Philly, so you know she kind of reps both sides of the bridge. But super talented, you know, like. And I've been seeing her for a while promote her own music, and that's the other thing. Like, for me, when it comes down to managing an artist, I like to see that they already have some type of work ethic. You know, like, never want to be put in a situation where I feel like I'm doing all the work, or you know, I gotta bring a whole bunch of people on and create this team to kind of like, you know, like it's just not a good feeling. So I like to see the artists already putting the work in. So she's been putting in the work in for some time now. And also she's just a super talented musician, right? Multi-instrumentalist. Excuse me. And she has just a drive about her, honestly. Like, you know, from designing her own cover arts to mixing and mastering her own music, you know, recording all the vocals, recording herself, in-house studio, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's when I first really started to understand how talented she was, I was like, hold on, wait. This is like the female Cam. But I feel like, you know, we gotta expose her more, not only to the South Jersey scene, but just, you know, do artist development and like start to build her following and whatnot. But it just made a lot of sense. It just made a lot of sense because I'm a Jersey dude, so like, and especially building out this current roster and whatever. Like, I felt like it was really important to have a black woman involved, and how can we find someone that fits what we're looking for, and we can also provide them something as well. So
I'm gonna manifest a Bea interview. Bea, when you see this, we would love to come. We would love to come chat.
Tap in.
If you would bless us, grace us with your presence.
Yeah,
we would love to chat for sure.
We'll make it happen.
For sure.
Yeah.
I do want to just in this finding joy, you know, in the artist you create, just talk about a little bit of the vision that you have, where you see it going, kind of like.
So, very, very much inspired by the collectives we grew up on, right? So your TDEs, your Love Renaissance, right? Like heavily and very much Love Renaissance. Like I wanted a company that cared about distribution, management company. You know, it's management company with artist services, meaning that yes, we manage talent, but we also are providing them with services that, you know, a typical management company wouldn't, right? Because they don't necessarily have to. But realistically, in this day and age, you can't just be an artist manager, right? Because if you're an artist, you can Google pretty much damn near everything you need to know. You can YouTube everything you need to know, but maybe you can't, you know, accomplish all of these little things on your own, you know? So that was important for me. And mental health was like a big pillar, right? Because, you know, once again, stemming back to 2018, you know, learning more about Franky's backstory and listening to User, and then from maybe 2018 to 2020, or I'm sorry, 2019 to 2021 of Mir starting to go through a lot of stuff internally, and then of course Jose's passing, and you know, it was just, I saw a lot of the people, including myself, around me, just needing to express themselves, going through these different things, trying to navigate through trauma. And also my wife's middle name is Joy. So it just kind of all worked together. So, you know, we were all just trying to find joy, you know? So to answer your question, the vision is really to make it as family oriented as possible, because I feel like the music business hasn't seen that. You know, of course you have different like families that are prominent in music, but you know, from like a management perspective, like I just want everything to feel good and genuine, you know? And that's the brand that we try to get across with the social media platforms. It's the brand that we try to get across, and like anything that's like Finding Joy related, like there's always like multiple artists involved. It never really feels like, you know, we're like specific about the colors that we use and just the messaging on socials as well. But just very family oriented. But the goal is to be bigger than a management company, you know, maybe partnering with a major down the line, you know. Of course, like, you know, to the shot clock questions earlier, it's like, you know, want the Grammy, you know, want the plaque, but we also want the impact, you know, like creating something that's sustainable, you know. I think that's the real goal is, you know, regardless of the streams, regardless of anything else, is like, can the artists live? Can they survive off of what they're making. Can they continue to do this and have a career like Ja Rule or Ashanti, where it's just vacation and stages?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, like, you know. So that's where I'm at.
You talked about, I think you said some things in what the industry lacks. I think you spoke on, but is there anything else that you think the industry needs? Like, what is the industry missing? What is something that's holding artists back about the industry? What's something that, you know what I mean? Something that if Jon Wigfall could change, he would fucking change. This just grinds your gears. You wake up in the morning and you're like, this fucking thing.
I think there needs to be, I don't have the answer for this, by the way, but I think there needs to be a way to, a more simple way to educate the upcoming artists on not only what lies, you know, on the other side of a record deal, you know, and this is maybe I'm talking about like Gen Z in particular, right? Because obviously Gen Z is hot right now on TikTok. They're making the dances, they're making the music, you know, and they're getting picked up left and right. It's happening in Philly right now. But it's, I would say educating the artists. Just a simple way, and I think there are platforms that do it. So, like an Audio Mac, for example. Like I believe they recently released a pretty much their own music industry like dictionary of, these are all of the terms, these are all of the words and phrases that you need to be familiar with if you're going to pursue a career in this.
That's hard.
And I wish I remember the exact name of it, but you know, that's just one example. But I think just being able to educate artists and on just like the basics, because I think it's so easy to just pick up a mic and make it your own studio, and maybe you know how to operate Logic and record and mix and master and drop the song. Maybe you're a whiz at TikTok, but then what else? You know, like a lot of people might not know what's next after that, or you know, what can happen if things go well for you, right? And what going well even means in music, you know? Like, is it really just about streams? Is it really just about, you know, accolades? Are you comfortable with just doing shows? So, but I think that's, once again, like, I think that's a huge part of finding joy, is allowing artists to be themselves, be comfortable, you know, still offering that counseling and guidance that a management is supposed to, but really just figuring out how we can amplify what you already have and what already feels true to you, as opposed to, you know, hey, put this makeup on and be somebody else. Hey, you know, this is your image, this is your character, so to speak. So
I'm so intrigued by the music industry. Like, I feel like I always say that all the time. Like, I just feel like it's like a really complex machine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm very interested. I don't know much about it, but when people talk about it,
it is, but it's not. It is, but it's not. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, I think early music, and this is what I teach in the business of music class, is really, I mean, I spend really the first 2 lectures, whether students realize it or not, kind of telling them, like, this is how artists were scammed for the last 30, 40 years, right? Like, this is ways that labels have attempted or have scammed artists, from like the cost of CD prices to, you know, whatever manufacturing costs, to just whatever, to deal structures, you know. But it's purposefully complicated, you know, at least for artists. But to the outside looking in, it's I don't know. I think it's much more simple than people kind of realize. Like, same as anything else. Like, you got your hustlers, you got your different people in it for different reasons, oftentimes the wrong reasons. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, it's mostly talent. The talent tends to prevail, you know.
Can you make a really educated decision based off of just having a lawyer look over your contract? Like, can that be the make or break to you signing a shitty deal? Like, is that just the key? Like, you need to have someone who looks over your shit?
A trusted lawyer, yeah.
That's really the key.
I think a trusted lawyer, you know, and then just people with some common sense around you, you know. Like, I think the lawyer shouldn't be acting in place as a manager, you know, because the lawyer might just be somebody that gets 5%, you know, or they're going to charge you a lump sum because they're going to get you a lump sum, you know. So that's something you got to be mindful of as well. Like, you can have a lawyer that's just, you know, that's in it for the bag like everybody else, right. You know. There's a lawyer hustle as well as you know. Everybody, there's a way for everybody to get the bag, but and unfortunately the artist is the one that pays for it the most. So,
what's one of the more common scams you see, or ways you see people getting scammed? Like something that would be in a contract that like somebody might bite on, but really they're getting fucked.
I would say kind of like the new maybe like the 180 deals where it's like it's not quite like full, like we're not going to take a percentage of like everything, but it's a percentage of like a few things. Or even when you have like different wording around recoupment, right? Like, you know, we're going to give you X amount up front, but then you're also not going to see anything back until that full amount is recouped. Whereas some artists might see a percentage like, oh, I'm going to get 80-20. I got the 80, it's lit. But you don't see the 80 until you recoup that initial 100,000 or 200K, you know? So you think it's sweet, and until you realize, oh, I need a song to pop to even get half of this, you know? So it's just, I guess, just little small stuff like that. Like, I mean, thankfully, I haven't encountered too many crazy deals. I mean, Franky had got offered. Like, I mean, the funny thing about User is, you know, Frank had got an offer from Chris Zaro, Logic's manager. Like, it was legit. But he kind of offered it at the final hour right before we were about to drop User, and at that point we had the show lined up. Didn't even give us really much time for a lawyer to look at it. But I mean, it was a contract that Franky would be in for like another 10 years or some shit, you know.
Jeez.
I mean, you know, he might have had a nice amount of money, but it, you know, wouldn't have owned the masters, wouldn't have owned, you know, and that's too important to us, you know. It's like, especially when you know you can possibly do it independently, you know, and you're already turning the right heads, you know. So,
wow,
that's fire. It is crazy to hear about all that type of shit. That's fire, though.
Yeah,
it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
No,
like,
it's a crazy.
It's crazy being it's crazy being in the position to like turn down millions. You know what I mean? And and I don't know if millions was a thing. I don't know if it was thousands, whatever. But it's just like a large amount of money. It's so crazy to hear, like, because we just in everyday life are like, give me $1 million and I'll do whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
well, I will say,
not really, but you know that's how people are. You know what I'm saying? So like,
no, a lot of people, like, once again, like, pay attention to what's happening to Gen Z in Philly right now, because a lot of artists are getting picked up, and you know it's happening. So I mean, we didn't turn down millions, but it was still a large amount of money.
Just like a large amount of money, right?
Still a large amount of money, and you know, once again, a reassuring moment to have a conversation with Buddha and D, and it was just like, oh, okay, like, no, he don't, no, that's not, yeah, it's dropping at midnight, you know, like, you know, because we in it for the long haul, and we're gonna bet on ourselves, and then, you know, sure enough, we dropped Self during the pandemic, and you know, still turning heads. Another DJ booth interview. Songs are performing well. Like,
bet on yourself and double down.
Bet on yourself
every
and
time. Every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
It's tough.
no, and that's the thing. It's like once you realize you kind of have the juice, I think it's just about consistency. You know, like, and we have these conversations like really across the board with most of my artists. It's like super talented, but we got to be consistent. You know, and it's hard to battle 100,000 releases that get dropped a day. Right. You know, it's hard, but you know, if you have a developing fan base, if you have a core that's listening, or we know how to do it and we're willing to put the work in, like, all right, let's just drop a song a month. Let's just keep at it, see what happens, because we're turning some heads. You know, like you can't get that's. I mean, I think that's really the most difficult part is, you know, quality over quantity. You know, it's like we need to drop more often to stay relevant, but will that sacrifice what this sounds like?
To water it down.
Will that in turn water down what we're trying to do? But, yeah.
I want to say, before we get into more accomplishments, I just want to say, like, do you ever just look back and look at how far you come and just have like those moments of just gratefulness? You know what I mean? The moments of because you gotta think, bro. You just like, you feel what I'm saying? You been the house burning. You feel me? Like,
yeah.
Starting it from the basement, literally. You feel what I'm saying? Couch surfing, like, bro, like.
Yeah. No, I'm grateful. I think sometimes, I think one of my bad habits is that sometimes I kind of let those situations weigh on me, so I don't fully appreciate some of the positives going on. And also in music, unfortunately, it's so, what have you done for me lately? Or what have you done lately? You know what I'm saying? So it's like the accomplishments from 5 years to 5 months ago is almost like, okay. It's like, okay. It's like, you know, that's just the unfortunate nature of it. Like, so I'm trying to get more into the swing of just like appreciating everything I've done. I mean, one of the things I'm most thankful for is that I've been able to kind of work within music and hip hop in particular and make a career out of it. Like, I am super appreciative for that. Like, even from being at Rowan and teaching the hip hop class, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane to me. Like, 16-year-old me would be like, yo, how the hell did you do that?
Right.
How are you doing that right now? So no, I'm definitely grateful. Definitely grateful, but still working on it at the same time.
Indeed.
You know.
You kind of segue perfect into our Rowan was next on our agenda.
Yeah.
So talk about that, bro. Talk about teach. To be clear, you teach. I'll let you do it so I don't butcher it.
Yeah. So well, leading up to this semester, I was doing PR in the music industry, which obviously full circle moment from studying PR to, you know, kind of dealing with that whole imposter syndrome and whatnot, to now teaching it in the spring, and then in the fall I was doing hip hop culture. Now I'm doing hip hop culture, business of music, and a class called artist services, where I'm basically spearheading the student run record label, Rowan Music Group. So yeah, it's been
talk nice, man. Talk nice, bro. Bro, I'm so bro. I'm so, like, I admire people who make a living around what they love to do, because what I found is, like, the people that are doing it are people who are like, I spoke about this with Lewis, like, they're people who, like, they're not doing just like one thing at a high level and that's what they do. It's like they took what they love and they do this with it. They built this with it. They started this. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I admire that so much.
No, I think no, it's nothing short of a blessing, because, like, as I was saying, like, to be able to have this love for hip hop, right? To be the kid that was like listening to like this DJ Khaled CDs and, like, you know what I'm saying, like, this, just having his love for hip hop, and then being able to transform and kind of create these different theaters out of it, right? Like, it's all one movie theater, but within that, it's, you know, it's the teaching, it's the management, it's the PR and marketing, you know, it's these different things. So, no, I'm definitely thankful.
It's beautiful, bro.
Yeah,
beautiful, bro.
Sure.
And I'm probably gonna say your most proud accomplishment as of recent is becoming a father. I want to say.
Yeah. No, I mean, absolutely. So yeah, my son Ezra, he is just everything, man. Just everything. I'm going to pick him up after this. So, no, I love fatherhood, man. You know, it's like, I had a post on my Instagram, like, I don't even know, maybe months ago, but I was like, I've had so many different jobs, been through so much different shit, right? But none of it compares to being a father, because especially just in just this, like, divine element of him even being here and the timing. Like, I had lost my mom winter 2020.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
I appreciate it. And and Guzzy was, I want to say 8 months pregnant at the time. And, you know, that was hard, or maybe 6 months. I'm sorry, 6 months maybe. And that like weighed heavily on her. And it was just crazy, you know, because it was like, you know, for me, I had a close relationship with my mom, and I was like, okay, I'm finally having a kid. My mom has to be here. And it was like, it was such a kind of a shocking moment. But then I tried to change my perspective on it. Like, okay, she has a bigger purpose now. You know, she saw that I was good, and now she got to watch over E, you know. But, man, he's brought, you know, pun intended, he's brought joy to, like, so many people's lives within our family, both sides. And, man, I don't know. Like, you know, similar to teaching, it's like, of course, you know, you want certain things for yourself, but also you may not know what it looks like either. Mm-hmm. You know, you just know, like, oh, I want that, but I don't really know what that's going to look like. And, you know, when I kind of stepped into both roles from, like, teaching to fatherhood, I was like, I realized I kind of was much more prepared than I thought I was, right? Like, you doubt yourself, once again, imposter syndrome or whatever. And, you know, I just love it. Just love it, man. Just, you know, parenting isn't easy, so this isn't me like, you know, this
go have a kid.
This isn't me like saying like, oh my God, like it's the best thing ever. You know, every day is a breeze, but you know, you wouldn't trade it. You know, you wouldn't trade it. Like, I enjoy it, man. I enjoy it.
That's beautiful, bro.
Indeed.
Listen, man, we have been blessed by your presence, bro.
Facts.
The education, bro, the gems, bro. We just want to commend you on what you're doing in life, bro, what you've overcome in life, bro.
I appreciate
It's
that.
truly inspiring, bro. And I'm super proud to know you and call you a friend, bro. Like, it's
Thank you.
truly inspiring, bro.
No, I'm happy to be here, and also, you know, as I said, like when we was off air, proud of you guys and everything that you're doing. I think this is extremely important. You know, I wrote on the wall, like, y'all are much more important to the culture than maybe you realize, because, you know, South Jersey needs a voice. You know, they need, we need platforms like this, right. You know, for people to come up, tell their story, and talk about what they got going on. And, you know, it helps move things forward. You know, I think so many of us have kind of laid like a brick down, you know what I'm saying, to this house or foundation, you know. So I think this is just another very crucial brick, because I think we have kind of developed the artist side of things, but now we need a platform. We need media, right? Everybody's a rapper, and nobody's an interviewer. Nobody's, you know, on the other side of things, you know. So it's beautiful to see what y'all are doing as well.
Bro.
Appreciate that.
We appreciate your words, bro.
For sure.
Anything people should look out for coming up?
Mir's dropping new single November 11th. Me Too. He's gonna drop an EP, I believe, by January, called Clowns Don't Cry.
I'm excited about that. I'm seeing him starting to talk about that now on social media.
No, I think this is gonna be like, he's in a good space. Like, I think it's cliche, but he's making the best music that he has thus far, and it's coming from arguably the most genuine place, you know, the most true place that it ever has, because it's really just, it's social commentary, but now it's more Jameer, you know. Franky, plenty of new music coming. He's going to be dropping mostly singles leading up to our Christmas concert. So obviously, good time to plug the Christmas concert.
Yeah, please do. Yeah. Tell us about the Christmas concert.
So we got the Home for the Holidays concert, which is Thursday, December 22nd at the Foundry in Philly. Mir, Franky, Ish Williams opening set for Mark McCafferty. We also have a handful of DJs that are going to be blessing the stage as well, from LZ to Amber Lang to DJ, and Night Child as well.
That's an elite lineup, yo.
Yeah, no, it's like there's like a South Jersey Avengers chat going on right here.
That's tough.
Yeah, you know, so I want that to happen more often. You know, I think as people started to develop and even in some cases kind of grow apart, then the pandemic on top of that, venues shut down, people were side more. It's like, we haven't really had the opportunity to go and experience some of the local artists live. So I want to bring that more back, especially 2023.
Very excited for that concert. We will be in attendance.
Indeed.
Will be in attendance.
Yeah.
TSOJ will be there.
Yo, what if y'all host a podcast backstage?
Ooh.
Book it.
That would be
Book it.
Ooh.
because
I'm with that.
Mir hasn't done it. Frankie's done it before, but I mean,
It'll still be book it.
Yeah,
Book it.
that'd be hard.
Book it. Yeah,
Book it.
Well, definitely.
Yes,
for
sir.
Sure, for sure.
Obviously, I want to watch the show, but I mean, I think that'd be hard. We figure out a way for it.
We'll do it. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
do it. We'll figure it out. We'll definitely figure it out. Yeah, let's book that.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
This is a good one.
Man, I leave so fulfilled, man.
It's a great
I
one.
leave so fulfilled, bro.
Yeah,
I truly do. I'm not even being funny. I'm being so serious, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I truly love having these conversations, bro, with like really stand up people like yourself, bro. So
Thank you.
thank you for being here, man. One more time for your host, y'all. It is Steven. I go by Ugly Steven on Instagram.
I Robinson 03 _, all platforms, y'all.
John, you want to plug yourself real quick?
Yeah, the liaison on all platforms, TheLiajon.
All right. And also behind the scenes, we have Vintage Sense 2 _ and OG _Bs _. Until next time, y'all.
Stick gang.
This Side of Jersey podcast.